We all want a home that's warm and inviting, but not claustrophobic. So today we're going to look at a few universal tips that will make your home cozy, no matter what your interior decor style is. Hello and welcome back. I am Vivian, and today we're going to be talking about how to make a cozy home. When speaking of interior design, we talk a lot about styles like minimalism, boho, Scandinavian, rustic, farmhouse, etc. But when we talk about feelings like calming or airy or cozy, we're no longer talking about styles, we're talking about emotions or feelings. So this makes it a lot more difficult to define how to achieve this. But it also means that we can actually apply this to any style. So today we're going to talk about a few universal ways that you can make your home cozy no matter what your current style is. All right, so the first cozy home tip is to look at your lighting. There's perhaps nothing more important than having good lighting to create a cozy atmosphere in your room. If you're not sure how to design a warm room, then start by looking at your lighting situation. So how many light sources do you actually have in your room? If you only have one overhead light, that's not going to be enough. In fact, I would usually say to just banish overhead lighting altogether. It's better to focus on having clusters of illumination. You also want to look at what types of actual light bulbs you're using. There's warmer light bulbs and there's cooler light bulbs. So you definitely want to opt for warmer light bulbs, which are around 3000 Kelvin, and stay away from the cooler light bulbs, which are 5000 Kelvin. Cooler light bulbs are going to be used in more office type areas, whereas warm light bulbs are going to feel more inviting and cozier. The other way to control this is by using smart lighting, which is a really great way to set the mood whenever and however you want. I love to use smart lighting. The bulbs are quite expensive, but they are worth it because you can literally put any color you want at any time, and they're dimmable and they're just so much fun. And I just love smart lights. I just love them. So I recommend you check them out. I'll put some links in the description so you can check out what smart lighting systems I would recommend. And then obviously candles are part of the lighting, section, even though you're not going to light a whole room probably with candles. Candles are I would call them like the ultimate cozy addition to any room. So tip number 2 is to add plants and flowers and foliage, living things. Plants and flowers have a unique way of breathing life into a space. Take them away from a room and you'll see what I mean. It's really hard to pinpoint why we enjoy having plants in our home, why most people do anyways. I think it's just a matter of humans being all inherently drawn to nature in some way. If you don't want real plants and if you don't want fresh flowers, they do get pricey, totally understandable. You can go for faux. I would definitely stay away from silk faux and go for plastic faux. They last forever, and there are some very realistic options out there nowadays. Faux plants can look amazing and really enhance the look of your space. So you can consider that if you don't want to go the real route, if you have a black thumb or whatever. Tip number 3 is to use rugs and textiles. If your room has tiles, laminate, or hardwood, chances are in the winter at least, it's probably going to feel pretty chilly under your feet, and having cold feet is not exactly the best way to feel cozy in your space. So adding rugs will really help bring that extra warmth and insulation to your room. You can also consider rugs in other non-primary rooms of your home, like in hallways and kitchens and bathrooms even. And, if you don't want to use rugs in the kitchen and bathroom, it's totally understandable. Should always consider at least a plush bath mat in your bathroom. In terms of textiles, you definitely want to think about piling on throw blankets and throw pillows onto your kind of like primary furniture, like your seating areas, like your sofa and your armchairs, basically. You don't have to overdo it, but you definitely want to have a nice mix of pillows with different patterns and textures. In addition to having pillows and throws kind of on display, make sure you also have extras kind of stashed to the side in baskets, so somewhere accessible for your guests to be able to just grab something if they feel chilly. It just feels more inviting for other people in your space as well. And going back to the flooring, if you for some reason can't have rugs, sometimes people with pets are just unable to have rugs, at least use slippers. So you want to make sure that you have slippers, that you're covering your feet. Try not to wear your outside shoes inside your home, and make sure there's slippers for your guests as well, so that when your guests come, they're not like walking around in bare feet or in socks and getting cold. Tip number 4 for achieving coziness in the home is through texture. Cozy textures are going to be made up of things usually that are soft and that feel good against the skin. So, think things like chunky throws, velvet, knits, cushy throw pillows, crushed linen, things like that, things that you enjoy touching. When you have elements in your room that make you think of warmth and safety and well-being, chances are you probably got a pretty cozy room or a cozy element on your hands. Accessories and furniture can also provide a feeling of warmth. Think about wood, caramel colored leathers, warm brass accents. Even stone can be warm and textural. When I'm searching for textural items, I usually like to ask myself whether or not I like to touch that item. If I like to touch it, then chances are it has an interesting texture to it. Tip number 5 for achieving a cozy home is to consider your window coverings. If you use shares of blinds, in the winter, consider swapping them for some thermal drapes or curtains. Not only will your drapes keep your heat in the room in the winter, but they'll also add an extra layer of softness to your room. Tip 6, hang artwork and mirrors. You want to try to avoid blank walls. It's not cozy when you walk into a room that is completely empty with nothing hanging on the walls. Blank walls can absolutely be a design choice. You can have one single piece of artwork hanging on a big blank wall, but make sure that if you do that, it's an intentional choice and not just that your artwork was an afterthought. There are a lot of really affordable print options that you can get online if you're not in a place where you can buy original artwork. Artwork not only brings personality to a room, but it kind of also insulates walls and prevents that horrible echo from happening when sound is bouncing off the walls. In terms of mirrors, you can add them not only to enlarge your space, but you can use them to bounce light around your room, which is always nice. A little bonus tip is about having an echo in your room. Echo is not cozy. It probably means that your room is a little empty. So, for example, if you've ever walked into a sound stage, there's absolutely no echo. So immediately it makes you feel cozier and like you're in a den kind of environment. Some tips to eliminate echo are any of the previous tips that we talked about. So hanging drapes, putting rugs down, putting throws down on your furniture, and making sure that there's layers that are going to absorb the sounds in your room and artwork. I hope these cozy home tips were useful for you and that you can implement them in some way. If you found this video useful, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you're a returning friend, thank you for coming back to watch. I can't believe we're already at almost 1,000 subscribers. It blows my mind. So I guess I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And if you have anything you need, just let me know in the comments. I always try to address comments. I read them. And, if you need anything, let me know and I'll make a video for you. I'm here for you. So thanks and see you next time. Bye.